So Dr. Udit Raj, senior leader of the Congress party, sees a Nepal-like situation here in India. 19 protesters have been killed. The country is under siege by protesters. Their entire parliament is in flames. Ministers, prime ministers have beaten bloody to within inches of their lives. Corruption scandals are exploding all over the country. There is complete anarchy. And Dr. Udit Raj has claimed that there is a Nepal-like situation in India. Let's talk about it on the debate tonight. Anand, Ranganathan, author, commentator and scientist. Ashwani Mishra is a leader of the Congress party. Welcome to you both. Thank you for your time. Ashwani, to you first. What Nepal-like situation is Dr. Udit Raj seeing in India? Is this wishful thinking? Because it doesn't seem to be based anywhere close to being on, kind of facts. Is this wishful thinking? Is this just the Congress's wet dream? What is he talking about? Is this the official position of the Congress party?
Indian peoples are peace-loving people, and Indian people love democracy. However, the current government of India and the media is exactly behaving like how Nepal government and media behave.
In what way?
I'll explain. I'll explain.
Ashwani ji, you're the first. You're coming to my show for the first time. I promise you, I do not like interrupting my guests. Anand also knows this. I let everyone speak, but I cannot let narrative and propaganda go. So I'm asking a straight question. What is similar between Nepal and India right now? Please be factual, no rhetoric.
Okay, I'll be very on the topic. In this whole protest in Nepal started with anti-corruption movement against government, and media portrayed it like a narrative being built against government, and eventually they suppressed the freedom of speech as well by blocking all the social media platforms. So that is where the protesters, which got agitated, and this turned into violence. We don't support violence, and I don't believe that our country's citizens are of that nature. However, the responsibility of the government as well as the media, that is why they are burning all those media channels. We saw Kantipur yesterday being burnt down by these protesters. So the idea was that government pushed media to nail down so that they can push the narrative, and media there literally started crawling.
Okay, so let me ask you. I know many Nepali journalists. I know many Nepali stations and newspapers. They have all been writing against the government. Many of them have been questioning the government as far as the corruption scandals there are concerned. I want to ask you a small question, then I'll go to Anand. Ashwani ji, is it the Congress party's official position, what Udit Raj ji has said today, that there is a Nepal-like situation here in India? Is that the categorical official position of the Congress party?
We are warning to the current government of India that don't test people and don't test their patience to a limit. We have seen in 2008 during Gujjar Andolan in Rajasthan, 72 people were killed. Government opened the fire directly on the protesters.
That was a caste protest. That had nothing to do with what's happening in Nepal.
You are going to take government has.
You are going to take any BJP protest you want.
No. Even Jat Andolan in Haryana.
Again about caste and reservation.
See, it's not about the protest. It's about the way government is handling the protest. Today we saw in Assam how the lathi charge were done on the people. We have seen how the lathi charge was done on this Kisan who are asking for. So problem is the government is suppressing the freedom of speech, and that is what situation like in
Nepal. In India, there is no country in the world that has the kind of freedom of speech and freedom of expression like India. In a country where people for the last 36 to 48 hours have been saying Nepal-like situation in India, we should have a Nepal-like situation in India. What is happening in Nepal should happen in India. All those people, all of those people are walking free. They belong to political parties. They are able to express their opinion freely without absolutely anything happening against them. I personally hate all this sedition law, etc. But if ever there was a case of sedition to be applied, it should be applied against people who are talking about wanting a Nepal-like situation in India or seeing the colors of Nepal currently reflected in India. I'll come back to you, Anand. How would you respond to Dr. Udit Raj and Ashwani ji, who says, yes, this is what the Congress feels right now?
Good evening, Shiv, and good evening to my dear friend Ashwani ji and to your viewers. But first, the irony of Ashwani ji speaking of freedom of speech and expression being suppressed, speaking on your show when his party has filed FIRs and wants to prosecute you for telling the truth. Oh, the irony. But anyway, look, I think these taunting statements being made by especially the Congress amongst the opposition leaders is frankly gone beyond disturbing. You know, it was maybe you could take it lightheartedly a few days ago, but not anymore. You think we can't see through you? Screaming that the constitution has been murdered, that the elections are a total fraud, that the ruling government is stealing votes, that all our constitutional independent bodies, our judiciary have been destroyed, are compromised, that all wealth is controlled by a few crony billionaires, when none of it is true. None. And this is being done for one purpose only, to spring 1,000 Nepals on India's streets. And they're hoping and praying, Shiv, for a bloody revolution in India, with a civil war based on religion, language, and caste fault lines thrown in. They haven't succeeded in this venture for a decade, but they'll keep trying, trust you me. They don't get the simple logic, such a simple logic, that if, as they claim, that in addition to all of their aforementioned screams, there are no jobs, that inflation is sky high, as Udit Raj was saying, that economy is dead, as Rahul was saying, we would already have had a bloody revolution by now. There would already have been 1,000 Nepal sprung up from Kashmir to Kanyakumari in India. That they haven't is because a billion Indians can see through these lies. They know that last year, as the RBI Keynes report said, 47 million jobs were created. That the inflation right now it is 1.53%, the lowest in 7 years. That PMI manufacturing is at all-time high. That inequality Gini is at all-time low. That Sensex is at all-time high. That India's GDP is growing at a blistering pace. If none of this was true, India indeed would have happened Nepal. Now I need a minute, because here is what worries me, Shiv. Can India become Nepal? And the answer sadly is yes. But not because of the courage of these anarchists, rather through the cowardice of the state. Let me explain. It is this government that has repeatedly allowed anarchists to create mini Nepals in the form of Singhu borders and Shaheen Baghs. Look, the opposition leaders support anarchists blocking highways, dharna, chakka jam, breaking law. But it's not about their hypocrisy. It's about the weakness of the state and of everyone, Prime Minister down. Let us not forget how anarchists and middlemen, Khalistani separatists and supporters were mollycoddled by the center. Their every illegality went unpunished. Modi and Shah weren't able to stop the mob carrying swords and other weapons from driving to the heart of the capital of India and hoisting a flag illegally at the Red Fort, the symbol of our democratic independent identity. The inevitable vacuum, Shiv, that is created when justice and rule of law whooshes away got filled by anarchy and bloodshed. Worse, many of the cases against the rioters have been withdrawn. Look, the day Prime Minister Modi decided to repeal the farm laws, that very day sent a message to the world. It was a victory of anarchy over democracy, Ludism over logic, control over choice. The message was just 10 seconds. Block roads, strike work, loot, kill, lay siege, become Nepal. And Modi will succumb. And since that day, the government asked to bend has been crawling. So yes, India will become Nepal, not because of Indian reality, but rather because of ignoring it.
I completely agree with what Anand has just said, Ashwani ji, because I'll tell you why, and I'll give you a chance to reply to that. The reason for that is this is wishful thinking. The fact of the matter is the Congress party and certain other opposition elements have tasted blood in the entire farm laws fiasco. They've tasted blood. They have seen that trying to instigate anarchy actually works politically. And the government did in fact bend. I 100% agree. That's the reason why you're hoping that every time you see this kind of bloody anarchy in a neighboring country, you are hoping that it can happen because you've actually seen a mini version of it already happen here in India. You have failed electorally. The Congress has failed electorally. You have no faith in the election system. Your leader is running a vote chori campaign which has been separately debunked. Your party has been threatening me separately because I have some facts to put on the table. And here you're seeing, you're having these wet dreams about Nepal happening in India.
I'm sorry, you both sounded more like a dictatorship and Hitler-like kind of tone when you talk about the revolution should be suppressed and the farm laws which were withdrawn was government bending down to the demands of farmers. I don't think. I don't.
It was
I think
bending down to SUV driving vested interests. That's a separate debate. Let's focus on this right now.
Yeah, so I'm coming back to the topic. We never wished that India should become Nepal. What we said is we want that let's not test the people's patience to the limit. If you really keep bending, if media really keep bending.
Which patience is being tested? Ashwani ji, give me two facts where Indians' patience is being tested. Just two facts. Tell me.
Anand ji, we have seen Kisan Andolan where 700 farmers were killed during protest.
Okay,
who took the accountability of that? You can let me finish first.
Nobody knows where that fact is coming from, by the way. That number, nobody knows where it's come from.
700 plus farmers were killed. Whenever someone goes on the street to protest, you either do lathi charge, you open fire in protest during MP, you open fire in protest during Bihar. We have seen recently in Assam what exactly we are trying to do. And moreover, this whole protest in Nepal was against the anti-corruption of the government. BJP has become the epitome of corruption.
But you have not
all
asked,
those Ashwani,
you have not. I will give the last word to Anand, but I want to ask you a small question before that. Ashwani ji, you have not answered his question. If things were so bad, you are the biggest opposition party in the country, then why isn't India burning like Nepal? India should be burning, and you have bigger allegations than what the Nepalese government has been accused of.
It is Indian people who love democracy. It is Indian people who are Gandhiwadi.
Come on. That is a cop out.
Their right to protest. If you suppress them, if you suppress them, their right to protest. We had Gandhis as well as Bhagat Singh.
Sir,
so
no country.
Remember that people of country will fight in any manner which is apt for democracy.
Ashwani ji, with greatest of respect, because this is the first time you are on my show, you have not given any facts. I will give one fact, and the last word goes to Anand. Did you know that no country on earth has as many protests as India does on a weekly basis on the number of issues that it has? No country on earth has as many protests as India does. Democratically performed protests that take place in different parts of the country. You've cherry-picked a few where some law and order situations may have happened, and you're painting it as a country of oppression and of Hitler. You've called poor Anand and me as well dictators tonight, but I will give the last word to Anand. Yes, Anand, go ahead.
Achtung. No, but because Ashwini ji talked about two instances, I don't need to talk about the freedom of speech and expression that's happening in Congress ruled states and Bengal and non-BJP ruled states. That's a separate matter altogether because, as you correctly said, he was being selective. But be that as it may, let's talk about the two issues, farm laws and corruption. Now, when you talk of corruption, Ashwini ji, when you say, Rahul Gandhi says anonymous electoral bonds is independent India's biggest scam, right? Fine. But you don't explain why through that biggest scam, Congress extracted 1,600 crores. When you say Adani and Ambani are scamsters, okay, fine. But you don't say why in erstwhile Congress ruled states of Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, you had invested more than 1 lakh crore in Adani companies.
Yeah.
And when you talk of farm laws, you don't say that agricultural point number 11, point number 19, point number 23 of the 2019 election manifesto of Congress has exactly verbatim those 3 farm laws that Modi implemented. So what about the protest? It is because of your U-turns. And talking of CAA, you don't say that in 2015 Congress had a resolution saying that Bangladeshi minorities, obviously they can't be Muslim, should be given citizenship in India. When Modi brings the things that you promise, you don't bring it, Modi brings, you take a U-turn and then you want a bloody revolution. Aise nahi chalega.
Last word. So I'm giving you the last word. I said Anand would have the last word since you've raised your finger. Last word to you.
Yeah.
Yes, Ashwani.
See, they are also giving the same logic on the vote chori also, that you are having government in Himachal, Karnataka and all. The logic is very simple. I go to police station and do a complaint that I had a theft in my house because my jewelry is stolen. And they will come with a logic. Why? No, there's no theft in your house because your furniture is not stolen, your clothes are not stolen, your car is not stolen.
Sir,
that is the same logic you are giving, Anandji, which is not going to go through the people of country.
Sir, the election commission has only asked for a sworn affidavit. It is not such a ridiculous ask. If this was not a prestige issue, Rahul Gandhi could have easily gone and just done that and completely embarrassed the election commission. I will be the first one to jump on the streets and report the humiliation of the election commission if they are proven wrong.
Let
It is a
affidavit
ridiculous
given by
assumption.
Election
It is
Commission and Anurag Thakur
it is,
ji first.
you have not taken a moral position on this, sir. That's the point. Yes, Anand. We've gone way off the topic, but Anand, final word.
No, I indulge in your benevolence, Shiv, because you've called Ashwani ji for the first time, and your rule was that he must bring facts to the table. He hasn't, but still call him another time.
Yeah, I will. No, I will for sure. Thank you very much. My producers are already yelling at me. I had a limited amount of time. I've already gone overboard because both of you are fantastic gentlemen. I will see you back on the show very soon. Thank you, Anand. Thank you, Ashwani, for being here on India Matters.